Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing you news of what NMC is doing to maintain the temporary register in the UK. If you remember, during the COVID-19, the NMC created a temporary register as directed by the UK government to help cover and boost nursing shortages in a time of trouble like in the COVID-19 period. So the NMC is trying to maintain this register as directed by the UK government for a further 2 years. Now, this COVID-19 temporary register was maintained during this period, and it did go a long way to help cover the NMC. And during this period, a lot of international nurses were put on this NMC register. Hopefully, by now, everybody on the temporary register then have their PIN. However, for other nurses who want to be on this temporary register for some reason, the NMC is keeping this register open for a further 2 years. And there is criteria for this register to be maintained. So if you qualify or fall under this criteria, you may maintain your temporary registration with the NMC. And this criteria include the following. The NMC understands that most people on the temporary register may not be practicing at all, and a lot of international nurses also who do not have their PIN yet may be on the temporary register. So for this reason, you can stay on the temporary register and continue practicing if you have left your permanent register less than 3 years ago. So for instance, you've been on a permanent register and you left it less than 3 years ago, you can remain on the temporary register. Initially, it was for those who left after 21st of March 2020, but for now, it's been extended for those who left within 3 years ago. Okay, if you left less than 3 years ago, you can remain on the temporary registers. Now, professionals can also stay on the register with conditions of practice if they are practicing and left the register more than 3 years ago, initially before 2020. They also were internationally educated and are progressing the application to join the permanent register. This is where it concerns national registered nurses. If you have been practicing, then left the register more than 3 years ago, and you were internationally educated and are progressing your application to become a register to join the permanent register, then you can remain on the temporary register. Okay, the NMC is removing any professionals from the temporary register if they left the permanent register more than 3 years ago and have not been practicing at all while on the temporary register. Okay, your name is going to be taken out also if you were an international registered nurse and are not progressing in your application to join the permanent register. These are the conditions that the NMC have put in place for those who will be remaining on the temporary register and for those who will be taken away from a temporary register. They're going to be updating the temporary register with this information that I've mentioned every month. Okay, so if you want to remain on the temporary register and you've left in the last 3 years, you need to be continually practicing and also doing all that you need to do to progress into getting into the permanent register back, if either by turn to work placement or by passing your OSCE, if that's what is keeping you for being in the permanent register. And the NMC has said that they're going to review this on a month-by-month basis. So there may be different changes and reasons why they put people into the register or take people off the register. All professionals on the temporary registers will need to undertake trainings, okay, and continue professional development to practice safely and effectively in your role. These are the conditions. Okay, now the NMC is going to be setting out and writing letters to everyone who was on the temporary register, explaining the changes they are making and implementing these changes, and these changes should take place from the 21st of March 2023. Now, further to this, there are also conditions for professionals in the temporary register who left the register more than 3 years ago and are internationally registered nurses and are progressing the application to join the register. You must work as a registered nurse or midwife in an employed capacity for a health and social care employer. You should always work under the direction of an NMC registered nurse or midwife or registered healthcare provider who is not on a temporary register. The professionals who would like to move to the permanent register should find out all that you need to do to move to permanent register, and that's basically passing your IELTS, OSCE, and your CBT and registering. And then professionals who wish to rejoin the permanent register, for instance, your registration has lapsed, You can contact the NMC also and ensure that your registration is up to date. I hope you found this video helpful. If you fall under this bracket, do well to join the permanent register. And if you are able to continue practicing on a temporary register to maintain your registration, keep doing that while you do your processes of getting into the permanent register. If you did find this video helpful, do well to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Thank you for watching.